Good morning, everyone. I'm here live and super excited about my morning, about my week. I just finished an amazing workout. As you know, every morning it's my time to just wake up and have fun, generate ideas. And one of the things that I loved about today was that I was able to start thinking about new things that I would like to do, and I would like to share some of the things that you can do so that you can feel the same way when you wake up every morning. So with my experience, the experience that I have got throughout the years, it's so important for me to always have something that I'm working with, something that I can get my mind going, something that makes me excited, motivates me, helps me start my day, my week. And those things that I generate in my mind, they're basically written down. So I would like for you guys to share today what are some of the things that you have thought about, but you have not even implemented or written down or even research. What things do you have in your mind that you would like to do, that you think about it every day, but you haven't even gone to look at it, whether it is a house, a car, whether it is clothes that you want to buy, whether it is a trip that you want to go to. What is something that really you have been thinking about it for years, but you have not achieved? And not because you're incapable, it's because you really have not thought about it and worked at it and programmed your mind. So good morning, Jason. Hope you're having a beautiful Sunday morning. Yes, I am. All my mornings are like amazing. I go outside, I enjoy the day. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful Sunday. And in the mornings, it gives me, it helps me generate ideas when, I'm working out, when I'm listening to personal development. It's just a way for me to relax, not de-stress, because I don't live a stressful life. I have a lot of things going all the time, but my life is super enjoyable, and I try to keep it that way. But what is that word? Meditate. It gives me time to meditate and just look forward to an amazing day, an amazing life. When I first started setting goals, I had a job. I had a full-time job. I was in the military back then, so that's considered a full-time job. But my goal was to buy my first home. I always imagine when I get out of the Army, I am going to buy my first home. That's my idea. I'm not gonna rent. I'm just going to buy my first home. And I had a picture of my home. I just never thought of, cutting out the picture or looking at it or going to see the house, but it was so vivid. It was vivid because that's what I always talked about. I always talked about having my simple home, and that's what we did. When we got out of the Army, we bought our first home. We lived with my mom for almost a year, but and it was tough because we had two kids. Two small kids at the time, and we were all cramped up in a room of her apartment. And there were times where I wanted to say, okay, let's go rent a place and so we can have our freedom. It took a toll in our marriage, but we did it. We stuck to our plan. They were building our home when as soon as we basically landed and got settled, we started looking for a house, and we found it right away, but it took almost a year to build. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're thinking about about doing something, you have to focus on that one thing. You can't be saying, okay, I want this, but then in the meantime, I'm gonna go for this. So you gotta be able to say no. You have to be able to say, I am not going to go for this because my goal is this. So think about the one thing that you would like to do in the near future that you have always been thinking about doing. Maybe it's to join a gym, you know. Maybe for you, you know, working out at a gym is something that you have thought about, but you have not been able to set up time aside to do that, to take care of yourself. Just think about anything and write it down and share with us. And why sharing it with us, with everybody? Because that would hold you accountable for what you are going to do. Have you gotten into a situation where, for example, you say, I want to get to this goal. Let's say my goal is to get to Platinum Executive Leader. I want to get to Platinum Executive Leader, but I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't want to get ridiculed by people if I don't make it. Have you thought about that? And that's just an example. Another example, I am going to buy a brand new home by the end of the year, but I'm not going to tell anybody because if I don't make it, then people are not going to laugh at me. So that's exactly why when you hold yourself accountable for a goal, and I always talk about that in all my videos, when you hold yourself accountable, when you say, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it, this is the plan of how I'm going to get there, then you just pull all your forces. And when you have doubts in between, because there's going to have doubts, there's going to be days where you say, you know, maybe this is not working the way that I wanted to, then you're going to say, you know what, that's not true. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to keep working at it, and I'm going to do it. The same thing happened to me a couple of years ago. I was, you know, I wanted a taste of becoming a silver executive leader. That's the second level of executive versus bronze, and then there's silver. So I was in the middle of the year, and I said, I'm going to get to silver executive leader. That's my goal. So I started working and working and working, and then I wasn't seeing any results. So one of the things that I did to keep me focused and motivated was to say, okay, what is it that I can do that I am responsible for? I'm going to tell you why that's important, because you're not responsible for your team titling. You're not responsible for your team getting to a certain level of leadership, and you need titles. You need a certain amount of leaders to get to a high goal. So that you can't control. It's just like you can't control finding people that have the commitment to get to a certain level. You're not responsible for that. That happens. You can call it luck, you can call it bless, you can call it working hard, but sometimes that factor just doesn't show up. And it's to me, I don't consider it that it's any kind of mental energy or anything. It just happens that way. It's life. So I said, okay, I am responsible for my team to sell $100,000 every 2 weeks. So what do I need to do? What am I responsible for? I'm responsible for recruiting more. I'm responsible for finding new people. I'm responsible to get my team to $100,000. And then the rest is up to my two goal leaders. And at the time, their sales were not there. Their team sales were not there for whatever reason. So I started working harder, training more, bringing in new team members. I was making more training videos. I was working with baskets. That was all part of the plan to be able to get my sales to $100,000 every 2 weeks. That was the part that I was responsible for. I was responsible for my team selling 100,000 every 2 weeks. So what I did was I didn't even think about other any other thing but increasing my team sales so that I can make sure that they sold more to get to that goal. Guess what? I don't check Downline Manager or Vive that much because I like to focus on other things. I do look at it sometimes when I'm working on incentives, but my assistant does all the follow-ups. She sends all the emails. She sends all the congratulations, the birthday cards, and she basically does all the follow-up. So I don't look at Vive very much. So I did not look at Vive in Campaign 26. Guess what? I went in almost, well, our campaign had already closed. I was like, wow. I went in and guess what? My team sales were over 100,000 in 2 weeks in that campaign, and both of my goal leaders had sales of over $20,000. So guess what? We titled in Campaign 26 of that year, 2 years ago, less than a year and a half ago, to Silver Executive, just because I focused on that one goal. So you can't control this is an example of the things that you cannot control. You cannot control some things. Some things you have to just let them be and then do your own part, because when you do your own part, everything just pulls together and then voila, your goal will show up. So find out what it is that's really, really important to you. Make a commitment. Say it to the world. If you want to save $8,000 to go take a nice family vacation to Alaska or Hawaii, or to an exotic place, anything that you would like to do that you haven't done. What's important to you? Maybe saving up some money so that you can pay off some debt. Maybe purchasing a new phone. And then just set up a goal. Just say, okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm in control. This is what I can do. The same thing for your sales. If you're selling a certain amount of products, then you're gonna make a certain amount of earnings. So the sales are something that you can control right away. Why? Because you sell $500, you're gonna make $200. If you sell to 20 customers, you're gonna make $200. So those are some examples that I'm just telling you that will get your mind settled to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go for this, I'm gonna make it happen. So I don't see any commitments. I don't see any chats or things that you want to share. So that's all I have for you today. Basically, what makes you get out of bed with the excitement that I experience every morning? Because when I get out of bed, let me tell you, the world better move over, because I am running with the world. Seriously. And my husband tells me that all the time. He tells me, man, how can you be all excited all the time? I'm like, I just love what I do. I love my life. I love where I live. I love what I have accomplished. I love people. I love my family. I love you guys because I know you're working hard. And all the relationships that we have built here is what makes me happy, is what makes me excited. So I'm gonna show you, I always show you a picture of my little paradise in the morning. So And by the way, the birds are just singing to me today. I gotta put some bird food, bird seed today, because they're ungrateful. When I leave, when I don't have any bird seed in the feeder, they leave. They leave me. So thank you, Tammy. Thank you. I would like you guys seriously to write down just one thing. Don't write down like 5, 6, 7. Just one thing. Work on one thing at a time, and tell me, how are you responsible to get to that one thing? How long it's gonna take you to get there? How long it's gonna take you to accomplish it, and what are you willing to do to make it? So share with me, make yourself accountable, and then you'll see that it's gonna come true. So here's my paradise. Are you ready? Let me see. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is like serene. Look. And I don't want to lose my Wi-Fi, because if I walk a little bit. So, but let's try. And then I'm gonna say goodbye. So yes, this is what I wake up and what I look at every morning. What on my magic bus. I love it. Look, I love Raven Wings magic bus. But yes, this is my paradise, our paradise. And this is what gets me excited. This is where I work out every morning, up and down. I do my lunches, I use that table to do my my thinking. And this is it, you guys. So find your paradise, what it is that you're really working for. It took us many years to get here, but this is like our dream home. I just feel so happy here. So I will see you on the next video. I hope I can see a lot of commitments, a lot of things that you're going to be working on. And that's it. I will see you next time. Bye. Have a great weekend and a successful week.